it's 3:15 in the morning on September 20th. 21st. This is the video for September 20th. I have a kind of a bellyache because I've been pigging out on Gatorade powder. I need to stop doing that. It's like pure sugar. Poisoning myself with sugar. So let's see. I was working yesterday until like 4 in the morning. And then I slept in until like noon or something, and then I was working a little bit, and then went over to Mom's house to, she wanted to do some errands with me, and then we went and, after that, we got some beef noodles at Trailings, and then came home and had that. That was fun. That was good. Hung out, and then painted the rest, or almost the rest of the slats between the slats of the deck, with these special like foam brushes, and then spray painted the metal plant holder, and then watched the news, and then I came back here. So I like hanging out with my mom every day. Tomorrow maybe I'll call her, see if she wants to go on a bike ride. Haven't done that for a little bit. I think the last one we did was like a couple weeks ago, when we rode 8 miles, 4 miles down to Southern Sun and 4 miles back. So that was pretty cool. So the thing that I was working on today, yesterday, when I did my video yesterday, I said that I was hoping I could finish the Helvetii tribe. And so, yeah, I did finish it. I was working till 5 yesterday. That's how long it took me to do it. I was, because I had to, build, trace, like build the walls of all 400 villages and 12 towns. But while I was doing it, I decided to go ahead and do the whole dealio. And I wanted to figure out what the average circumference of all of the towns and villages were, because I'm trying to create, conceptualization of space. And I'm trying to standardize square meters and wall size and population for the ancient world. The Helvetii had a population of 263,000, and a lot of people think that ancient historians are false, but I don't care. I think that if you really want to figure that out, they exaggerate, but if you really want to know, you have to build an actual map of it and then judge it that way. I noticed in one of the Wikipedia articles in the footnotes, like one of the valleys, Verdun Valley or something, 270,000 people live there, and they claim 240,000 lived then, and they think that's not realistic. But what people don't understand is people live in apartments now, but people live in big houses, and people could be kind of squashed together and be more different views. So it kind of makes sense that there's almost as many. But anyway, and there's 8.5 million people in Switzerland, and which is 30 times more than the population of the Helvetii, which is takes up most of Switzerland. So I don't know how many live in the. You could do it, but because that's the fertile part. You should do a calculation to see how many more people per square meter. But so there's more now than that, and there are more villages. I said 4 times more, but it's not that many. But it is more, maybe double. But so the way that I like to do the standardization is your typical town, like a fortified town, like a capital town / city, would be 4 kilometers, because the only fully intact fortified city in the ancient world is Mantinea, which is 3.97 kilometers. Completely intact wall. It's pretty awesome. They had 2 battles there that are reported by Thucydides in 300 BC. It was one of the cities of the Laconia, I think, that was that Sparta was the capital of. But so And I figured that would be 5,000 people, would be like a town. So, like 1,000 men, warriors, fighters, and then 5,000 people. So, so I came up with the standardization as a village to be the very beginning of Rome, the founding of Rome with Romulus. That is a village. He founded Rome with 100 patricians, so 100 men. So then I figured the population of Rome when Romulus first started it was 500. You know, it would be the 100 men and then their family of 5, like his wife and 3 kids, or his like girlfriend and 3 slaves or whatever. So, and that's exactly 1.5 kilometers around because I traced it because it's a hill, so it's easy to trace how big around it is, and that's which is 0.91 miles, and that's and a Roman mile is 0.92 miles. So that's interesting. It's like almost exactly a Roman mile, like 1,000 feet steps around. So I don't know if that was where a mile came from, but you know, maybe they walked around. They're like, wow, it's exactly 1,000 steps, man. Let's make that a mile. Maybe that was the beginning of the mile Rome, but anyway, I think the Romans invented the mile. So I was like, okay, cool. 1.5 kilometers around is 500 people. 4 kilometers around, you know, and if you were to do the, you know, square percentage, square footage, that would mean 4.12 kilometers around. It'd have the same square footage meterage as the village of Rome with 500 people, which matches Mantinea at 3.97 really well. I thought that was cool. You know, and with a city, you can imagine that it would be a little bit more dense because it's you know, a city and there's more like, you know, high rises or whatever, you know, smaller lots. But so I traced the big ones, the 12 big ones that I figured would be the capital. Like there's this these 2 capital Epitiums in the middle, and then I made like Latin, the old civilization from and then big cities scattered around, and that was an average of 3.55, which 89%. If I'm like almost 90% of accuracy, I'm like happy. That's how I try to connect Boulder Rome to Rome. Like if Boulder, the center of Boulder is like 10 miles away from El Dorado, the little village south of here, because that's the counterpart for Alba Longa. I mean, the closest capital of the mine fart, the enemy just to the north of Rome, the Etruscans. Then I would connect how far like Veii is from Rome, and is that connected? Is that similar to like El Dorado from the center of Boulder? And if it's like 90%, I'm like, it's good enough. So anyway, so I was like, all right, cool, 89%. So then, you know, what I did was I got, you know how you do it. You add them all together and then you divide it by 12. So, because that's how many cities there were. So I got the average of the 400 villages by just putting them in their own folders based on how big they were around, you know, like anything's, I had 3 main folders, sub 1,000 to 2,000, over 2,000. And there's like 31 over 2,000 meters around, and then most of them were between 1,000 and 2,000, and then a lot, like 160 under 1,000. And so I added them all up and then divided them by the number, you know, just piece by piece, and then did the averages of piece by piece. So it wasn't that hard. I didn't have too many. Like with the phone, if you're talking to the phone, you can add a maximum of 28. But then all of a sudden the phone started like not telling me and just writing it out. But it's still like a maximum of like 28. So if there's like 35, I have to do like 15 and 16, 17 and 17. So anyway, the average, it's all the 400 villages of the Helvetii, like I wasn't trying to average the same as Rome at 1.5 kilometers around. Oh yeah, because as far as the population goes, 263,000 Helvetians. So if there's 400 villages and there's 12 cities, that means the 12 cities would have to average 5,000 people and the villages have to average 500 people, mathematically. Because 500 times 400 is 200,000, and 12 times 5,000 is 60,000. And so I just made like the capital city, because there's this one guy, Orgetorix, who was more popular than everybody else. So his got to be 8,000 people, so 263,000 people. So, but I wasn't trying to make them average. I was just randomly tracing how big I was. First, I tried to spread them out evenly, so it'd be realistic, and then I just traced them how big they looked. I wasn't trying to like create facts and figures. I was just tracing them what they looked, and I was just crossing my fingers and hoping it would average out at 1.5. Okay, it averaged out at like 1470 or something, which was, whatever the number was, it was more than 98% the same as Romulan Rome, 1.5 kilometers around. So I was like, wow. Because you can use those like perfect, like, matches, mathematical matches to help explain concepts of standardization. So I was super jazzed about that when I was done. I was like, and I only thought to average it out last night. Like that, I first thought, oh, that would take so long. I'll do that one day, and then I was like, fuck it, let's just do it, because I felt I was like a little bit ahead. It took me a couple hours to do that. So that's why it took me until 5 in the morning. So anyway, I got up this morning. I was like tired, but I did it. So then I was gonna have to. So then today is what I did. No, last night I think I actually did more last night. I finished the ditch, that went along with Caesar's 19-mile long fence that he used to box in the Helvetii. So then I did the ditch, and then so this morning when I got up, the chore was to start with the book finally. I got bogged down at the beginning doing the Helvetii, because he mentioned all the villages. I hope he doesn't mention like villages of another tribe, because I might be like, oh, let's do that tribe too. Oh, there's 5,000 villages in this other tribe. Oh my god, and it had this many people. Oh my god. Because there was this one, because I read on the Wikipedia, there's this one tribe that had 40,000 people that were moved in. So I have to figure out how to maybe draw in 40,000 people in that valley. Like I might want to do that too. So anyway, it depends. So anyway, today I was gonna, Google Earth the Gallic Wars by Julius Caesar. Start with the book. And the main thing about Google Earth and Gallic Wars isn't like recreating the battles, because that's its own project. I just want to recreate all the battles of the world all at once, because most of them have like maps of the actual battles, and I already superimposed them, the maps that I got off Wikipedia, on top of my Google Earth. You can download it right now. And so I want to look at the maps that are superimposed, and then Google Earth it on, draw it on, and but I'll do that later. So, but I might do it with Julius Caesar, just because of the book, just because it's make the book complete. But so I was doing the trips, because he likes to. He was really good about saying where they marched and how many days. So I was doing his trips. He said he went from Verdun to Isistre, or Sisistron, in 7 days, which was like 27.4 kilometers a day. So whatever that is times 7, 200 and something kilometers. And so I did it, and like magically each day was like a village. So it kind of gave me the idea, like, were those villages created from when he made a legionary camp or something? I don't know. Anyway, and then he went from there to Lyons. So I matched that out. The way that I do it is, I go to Google Earth and I just do a to from directions on Google Earth, and then I click the bicycle icon. So it's the bike route that you would go from here to here. So then it tells you how many miles, and then I trace it. And when I trace it, it's like the same as what they say. It's pretty cool. Like the last one I did from like This is Strawn, or no, some town to Lyons. It was like 80 kilometers. It was only 1/10 of a kilometer off. Yeah, and the other one was only like a couple tenths off, so that was cool. Anyway, oh, and this morning I also drew in the two, drew like in 3D with the pylons and the road, to the 6 exact dimensions, the two Rhine bridges that he did. But then they wrote in the book that he did it for you. That's the Saône River, and so I drew that in, and where I thought it would be, convenient for the bike tour's sake. And then, yeah, and so now he's talking about the lead up to Battle of Bibracte. So I just had a shower, and I'm gonna watch like a 12-minute long YouTube video about the Battle of Bibracte, and then I'm gonna read what he did, and then try to like draw, the trips to and from and the days, if they mention, of the Battle of Bibracte. And he mentioned like maybe there were like 2 hills. There's Bibracte and one next to it, and chasing it. So I might like draw that, because like how he's chasing around, and how he was like 5 to 6 miles away from their from their army, and then 11 miles. I might want to draw that in. Anyway, I was kind of at the beginning of. I'm only on like, there's 8 books, and there's like 50 chapters within each book, and I'm like halfway through the first book. So yeah, I'm like, it's a 389-page book. So hopefully I can, Google Earth the whole book. And once I Google, like in a couple weeks, and once I Google Earth the whole book, I was thinking about, doing screen captures of everything and putting it on Flickr. And then Flickr is actually the only image site that I know of where you can embed photos. So so I was thinking about putting them on Flickr, and then embedding them on my book, on my Caesar book. And then later, whenever I do it, make the YouTube video, I can just put the link to the YouTube videos of all of it. But for my Google Earth, but that'll be really cool. That'll make the book look really freaking cool. So yeah, and it's not like it's the biggest book in the world, so it might be worth it. I've already actually done that with Polybius. He's describing, no, not Polybius, Strabo. He's describing, because Strabo's the main like historical author that talks about geography and different places of the ancient world, and I did Strabo, like the side of the screen captures of the Google Earth of all the places he's talking about. So, but to actually do like Caesar and where he goes and all that would be really cool, because it actually goes really well for like a bicycle tourist. You could or a runner, if you want to be like, instead of you want to like hike or run across Europe, and redo his 7-day trip over the mountains. If you can average 27.4 kilometers a day, those guys are badass, because they were hiking for like 60 pounds. Try to hike with 60 pounds over a mountain pass from Italy into France, averaging for 7 days, averaging 27.4 kilometers a day. Today I guess was my first day doing Julius Caesar. So tomorrow I'll try to do that. Don't really have any plans to do too much work for my mom, so see what I can do. I'm getting kind of groggy. I might want to go to sleep pretty soon, but I think I'm going to watch the video first. All right, talk to you tomorrow.